Hello, this is Bastian, and this is a video response to the video of Sabot 96. This is actually an anti-hate video um, where I want to focus on the points that Sabot 96 is trying to expose here about Desteni, and actually to show that there is no exposure here in this video, but just merely try to discredit a group of people that stands as equal as one with life, um, to create a world that is best for all. And here is somebody trying to defend his own value system that is of the ego and that is therefore abusive and relying on exploitation and the usage of others and the usage of knowledge in order to deceive people. Of this man here talking about how mankind has, since the beginning, tried to explore and investigate and find out through philosophies and hypotheses how things work, how the world works, how things operate, and he is very much prone to this, and he wants to. He says that this is something he is very proud of. This is something of value, and this is what makes the difference between human beings and every else other life forms. So, what do we have here? What is it? It is about the self-glorification of humanity, trying to make themselves a special race, some sort of sacred, holy beings that are able to think, and therefore they are very special and they are of much more value than anything you could ever imagine, because they are able to think about how things work, how life works, and how things operate. Very much has been created through these stories, fantasies, ideas, ideologies, very cool stuff you can entertain yourself with, you can entertain your mind with. You can have a nice time, you can have a fun time reading stories and reading all that and accumulating all that knowledge and think yourself to be superior to others because you have read Socrates, Plato, and you know everything about Marx, and you have read all those philosophies and stories, Wittgenstein and Nietzsche, and you are so very special, and then you start to create your own philosophies out of this knowledge you have accumulated from others, and you mix it up and create your own ideas and fantasies and ideologies about how things work, but never will you hit the point, never will you hit what really is going on, because this is what mankind is doing all the time and since the beginning, as he states. And this is, by the way, not an argument to make things or to prove things right just because they have been being done since the beginning. On the contrary, if there is something like progress and development, there should be something else going on today than in the beginning of mankind. So this is what humanity is doing. It is making up all kinds of ideologies and political systems and strategies, philosophies, moral standards of societies in order to keep this image of oneself as a superior being, but always is this all is happening just in the mind, just in the heads of the people. It is never happening in reality. And all these moral standards that we have nowadays in our societies and civilizations are hypocrisy. They are never working in reality, in real life. They are never working. Ask the people that are starving, ask the people that are the losers of the system, not because they are weak or they are not good enough, but because it is inherent in the system itself. The system needs those losers of the system because they are the ones that are being exploited. They are the ones the others make their profit from. So all these ideas and ideologies may be very nice and fun and entertaining, and you can masturbate in your mind and you can make up all this energy in order to think you were something special, but never do you hit reality. And things are working the way they are working for their own, by themselves. So, in fact, things are working as they are working, and the world is functioning as it is functioning without the human. There's no need for the human to invent any philosophies or ideologies or to create anything special to make up or to find out how things are operating and how things are working. So, in fact, what is needed is that mankind steps back, stops itself from this mind-created illusions and self-created idea and ideology of superiority, and that the human being was somewhat special or here on Earth in order to find out how things work. This is absolute stupidity. This is obvious nonsense. So what we have to do, or what we need to do, because if we look at the world, what we have created so far out of this making up of stories and ideologies is a total mess. It is total destruction. It is murderous. People are dying and starving every day unnecessarily, and we have created all kinds of weapons of mass destruction. We have created systems of abuse and exploitation. We have invented horrible strategies and instruments of torturing and exploitation. We need to stop this. This is obvious. This is an obvious fact. It can't go on this way, and the system as we have created is doomed. It is. It has to fail. Everyone that has a bit of common sense left and can think clearly will see that this system needs to fail. It must fail. It can't go on this way. So everything that we have made up as human beings in our minds, and all these stories, fantasies, ideologies, what he seems to be so proud of, has failed. So therefore, it is obvious that we need to stop the way we are thinking. We have learned to think that we need to stop this. There's no other way. You can only change if you change yourself. And therefore, surely we need to deprogram ourselves. We need to stop the ways and our habits and the patterns we have developed over the centuries. This is obvious. This has nothing to do with brainwashing or manipulation, because this has to take place without the people knowing it. And here we are openly talking about it, that we need to stop the way we are thinking. This is obvious, because it is all is about self-interest in our system. Self-interest. Everyone wants to protect his own superiority, made-up superiority. Everyone wants to protect his own made-up individuality. So no matter what it costs, at what cost. So this obviously needs to stop, because it is abusive, it is exploiting others, it is a parasite way of being, of living. So, and he's stating it himself, he has a really hard time facing things that are said and written and done by Desteni and by the people of Desteni. That is out of question that he will have a really hard time facing this, because it is questioning everything he believed in so far, because everything he is talking about in this video is about belief. All these stories, all these ideologies, all these ideas, and what he likes so very much about the human and about the human development is about belief. It is only of interest for you if you believe in it, because it has no reality. It has no value in reality. So if you look at the world and you really see what is going on without coloring everything with your mind and ideas and values and judgments, then you will see how the world operates and how it functions. And you see how the human functions and operates. And when you face this in self-honesty, you surely will have a hard time. But if you stand self-honest as one and equal to everything as life, you will get rid of these habits, these old traditional patterns, ideologies, and beliefs. And when you are got rid of them, then you it is like a revelation, and you will see that you need to change, and you will see the ways, and you will find the practical, common sense ways to change yourself, and therefore change the world as the system that we have created here. So, and what he is focusing on in the beginning, in about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, is that he is focusing on the suggestion of destiny. In order to change yourself and to change the abusive systems, you need to stop your mind and therefore stop what you have become. And then he is asking, and then you become I don't know what. Yeah, and that's the point. You don't know what you have become so far. That is the problem. That is the problem of most of the people of the whole world, that we don't know what we have become so far. We make up all kinds of illusions and imaginations of who we are as a personality, but never do we really fit and suit what we really are and what we really represent in all its consequence. So therefore, if you don't dare to stop to participate in what you have become as a mind consciousness system with your thoughts and all your unknown habits, emotions, and you react and act out of these emotions and these habits and patterns, you don't know where they come from, then you are an abuser, because you don't live self-directed. You are a robot. You are a robot without knowing what he's doing all the time. And therefore people are striving for satisfaction of their desires, fulfillment of their wishes and needs, and they don't even know where they come from and why they have those wishes and needs of almost every time absolutely unnecessary things. So especially in our Western culture, in our Western capitalistic rich world we live in here. So of course we need to stop who we have become. That's not a question anymore if you look at the world how it is, and how it's going to be abused, and how this is going on, and how people are dying and suffering because of the way we live here. We continue and think we need to continue to live. And mankind has never developed. We didn't have any development, any progress. So all this stuff he is talking about here, all this mind-created stuff, had never any effect on reality, but this one effect that half of the world is starving and suffering today. And this will become more and more worse. It will become absolutely messy. So if we don't dare to stop. And then he's saying that it is about completely wiping away who you are, and this is absolutely not true. It is not about wiping away or something of a form of deletion or suppression. It is about facing and accepting what you are and what you have become, and therefore in that seeing what you are and what you have become, and only then will you ever be able to be a self-directed, human, intelligent, common sense directed being. Because if you don't know who you are and why you are who you are, how will you ever claim to be an independent, self-directed, thinking being? This can't be. So therefore, it is not about wiping out who you are. It is about accepting and embracing who you are, and then using common sense, self-forgiveness to change yourself, because you see all the consequences you had as the one you are and you have become for the whole world and for all life. So next he states that Destiny leads you through their material point by point, and this was all nonsense, and there were no facts in the material. So this is absolutely wrong, and Destiny is all about facts, and we are facing the facts as they are. They are obvious, common sense